Hey man, that's my friend right there. Extremely gifted, talented. He keep me motivated. You know what I mean? And the one that got on stage, he got that likable spirit. But if you want to see him win, he just started too. That nigga is funny. Y'all give my friends a strong round of applause. They told me to come down here and he said, Scruncho, man, don't you come down here? Memphis little artists keep it solid. Come down here, it's cool, I'm proud. Come down here, present. I said, I humbly said, don't, you my friend, don't need to explain, I'm there, right? Fortunately, the promoter called me and put a 10 on it too. Said, you need to hurry up and get down here, man. There's about 500 people. Deep. 3 classrooms of people. And I think it's about 250 per class. How many people? I can't count. I gotta go. Would y'all please look around at this small ass crowd? Y'all know a couple of relays who have done this shit on the phone. But y'all my small crowd. That's right. I love all 12 of you motherfuckers.
We love you too, Scruncho.
Okay, why I love y'all? Because the last time I was judged by 12, I ended up doing 4 years. But humbleness is something that I pray for, because humbleness is something that if you don't have it, it'll block your blessings, And it's a different spirit on you when you ain't humble. You're never big as you think you is, no matter how big you think you might be. My mama think I'm doing the Staples Center. But I gotta tell you why I stay humble though, because when I first did this comedy stuff, man, worst thing you can ever do is invite your family to see you perform for the very first time, because their expectations are just so high. They see you be so amazing in the living room, but they don't understand from the living room to the stage is a transition. And it's a process. And you're not very good when you first start, and you don't reach the expectations of people who know you well. But I didn't know none of this information, right? So I say, I'm going hard, I'm going to Hollywood, I ain't never been out the hood. I tell my mama, we fly my grandmama in, we going big, we get in there, we fill the room up, and then when I hit the stage, I have my heart, say, I'm going to the stage, but there's something about when they call my name, we grab this mic, and shit got real. When I hit the stage, I know I looked in the audience, and the first person I see was my heart. My heart was sitting there like, nigga, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I got on stage, I'm doing my shit, ain't nobody laughing, I'm trying to figure out, I'm so mad, I'm like, regardless, I'm your family, I'm your brothers and sisters and grandsons, y'all should at least give me some sympathy laughs, just pretend like you're trying to get me motivated, right? And what made it so bad, not only ain't nobody laughing, my 89-year-old grandmama, excuse my language, but this bitch, right, gonna stand up talking about, you brought us all the way out here for this shit? That's why you gotta stay humble, man. And I'm gonna take, you know what? I'm gonna just flash out a question. Can we really keep it real? Is this mic really necessary at this point? And I gotta say this, because it's such an amazing crowd. I think I'm gonna do something that ain't never been done in comedy history. Because there's only 12 of us in here, guys. This is gonna be so amazing. No comedian ever did this. Guess what I'm gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Because it's such a small crowd, I'm gonna tell all my jokes individually. I gotta be honest with y'all. Listen to this, man. And here's the thing, right? I love to try to, especially as a black man, it's amazing how, they so hard on us. And I like to brag on this because I like to brag on this. What I'm about to say right now, I don't care how many times I brag on it, it kind of defines me as a man, you know what I mean? Like my 18-year-old daughter graduated this year with a 4.2 GPA. And then she got a full scholarship to Spelman. And I gotta tell y'all why I'm so proud as a father, why I cried all during the ceremony, right? Because at the ceremony, she's getting all these amazing certificates and stuff. And I remember her kindergarten graduation when she graduated from kindergarten to first grade, right? I thought about, it was so amazing to me. I remember her laying in the bed and me and her mom going to the swap meet and getting this little cap and gown made for her, you know what I mean? And sizing up for her when she was real little, you know what I mean? And then I thought about we sizing it up and her mom whispered some shit in my ear that kind of was very profound, but I understood what she said because it kind of hurt me, but it changed me. She said, could you do me a favor? When you come to Mary graduation, could you please, just out of love, can you please pull your pants up? She said, could you take the cornrows out your head, take off your little gangster outfit, and just man up and step your game up. I humble my spirit, I step my game up. I stop off at Saks Fifth for ladies. I got me a $5,000 Armani suit. No, ma'am, I took it back right after the graduation. I swear to God, as soon as I walked into the ceremony, right, my little queen seen me. She burst off the stage, ran down the aisle, jumped in my arms, hugged me so tight that she started to cry. I said, baby, what's wrong? She said, Daddy, you finna go to court? But here's what you get blessed from. See, as a father, one thing I learned how to do is I learned how to break cycles. See, God, that's a power. That's a very powerful thing to do. When you break cycles, that's literally like changing your DNA. Because my father was totally opposite of me. I come from a family, you try to take the good with the bad, but you all God got your favor, you're always going to make the bad good anyway. Because my dad was quick to discipline and slow to hug. Now, back then, I despised it. But today, I appreciate it with all my heart because it established substance in me and it defined me as a man. My dad was gangster as a motherfucker. One time, he just socked the fuck out of me, right? I said, why you do that? He said, nigga, I sock you every Thursday. Because kids nowadays, they lack discipline. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you the gangster shit. When I first started doing this comedy shit, I didn't know that this shit was gonna be so difficult. I was making way more money doing my little street activities, doing my little hustler, being a real nigga. I said I'm gonna make more money doing this than I knew about these fucking jokes. But see, I didn't know that fame shit was gonna fuck my hustle up. Cause I first did this comedy view, my ex-wife had me think I was gonna make about 10 to 15,000 when I did comedy view. So you know me, you know how niggas is. We know we finna make that kind of money. We start spending money I ain't got, right? I'm a young nigga, so I start buying rent-a-center furniture and shit for my little family, right? I imagine how confused I was when they gave me a check for $150, right? At that point, I said, fuck these jokes. I quit. I said, I'm gonna do what I do best, right? But not knowing how this fame shit work, that shit fucked my hustle completely up. And with all due respect, small crowd, I know my fame status. I know you got your A and B celebrities. I completely understand I'm somewhere around the J and K. But nevertheless, it really fucked my hustle, all right? Right after that comedy view shit aired, listen to me. I was right there on La Brea and Wilshire, getting ready to rob that Bank of America. Right? Man, I am not lying. I walked into that bank, right, not knowing how the fame shit worked. I swear to God, right before I pulled out the gun, the fucking cashier chick recognized me. She's like, oh my fucking God, I seen you on comedy view last night. You're my favorite comedian. I'm like, bitch, not now. Like, I had to make a decision. Do I kill my number one fan? I gotta be honest with y'all, man. I'm gonna tell you something. This comedy shit have really matured me and changed my way of thinking, dealing with people. Cause I'm gonna tell you something, I'm from the hood, and I'm gonna tell you, like most niggas from the hood, most black people that's from like a lot of hood dudes, we was born homophobic type of dudes. We didn't understand the gay shit. We like, fuck that gay movie. But now I realize that I believe that was a big lie. I think all gay people, are going, I don't think they're going to hell. I don't think being gay is a sin. And I'm going to tell you why. Because my little nephew is gay, right? And there's no way God gonna send this little gay baby to hell when he was literally born gay, right? And I know God ain't gonna send this gay baby to hell when he didn't know nothing about the gay stuff. And I know he was gay, right? Look, when he was born, I swear, the little nigga used to crawl gay, right? Let me show you something. Let me show you how gay babies. Look, when you crawl, right? Babies crawl a leg at a time, right? A leg at a time. Am I correct?
Yes.
This is why I knew my little nephew was gay. This little nigga used to twerk when he crawled, right? He used to crawl. I'm like, what's that, baby? This baby crawl. Listen. It's not about your sexuality. It's about respecting each other's sexuality. You know what I mean? If you're gay, respect them for their decisions and their choices. And if you're not gay, gay people should respect you. That's straight. You know what I mean? And I have a problem with, for example, gay people. I don't like when gay men hit on me. That really offends to me because I would never tell a gay man, you need to talk to this woman. You need to want me. Look at this titty. Go so this titty. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do no gay person like that. And I'm coming out of church. And y'all gotta understand what disrespect is. I'm coming out of church filled with the anointed, right? A gay dude come to me and he got a little chain with a little Jesus piece on it, right? And he perceived the chain was unfastened. He bent over in front of me and said, excuse me, could you fasten this around my neck? Right? I was appalled. And I knew he was offensive, because look, even the little Jesus piece was on the chain. He kept my face, I wish you would. But I gotta say this though. Don't judge nobody. Because when you judge, you worse than what you're judging. Because God said don't judge. And that's not Christian-like. Because when you judging, you buying into the title of being a Christian and not the action of being a Christian. But I do say this to the whole gay community. Stop being so sensitive. Oh man, it's too fucking sensitive. I'm in Long Beach on Artesia Lane. A gay dude come to me and say, excuse me, could you tell me how can I get to Delamo Boulevard? The motherfucker got mad at me because I said, nigga, just go straight. Man, but listen to me though. I gotta be honest with y'all. Now listen to me. I think this is an era where, you know, my mom. I love my mom, right? I think we all got special love for our moms, but my mom is so special, you know. And I gave her a 76th birthday party, and I'm gonna tell you what made me excited is the fact that she had everything she wanted. All her kids was there. But what angered me is my sister showed up, right? My blood began to boil, right? Because when black men, we'll say some shit like, put that on my mama. You know what that means? That means that's sacred. That's almost spiritual. When somebody put that on their mama, that's sacred for a black man. That means everything from that point on is true. Now, my mama, look what she did. Now, my sister walked into the party. I got so upset, small crowd. Let me tell all 12 y'all. My blood boiled because y'all need to know why. Because guess what? My mama's sweet, kind, giving. Everything you ask for as a mother, you can get anything from my mom. Just ask. But guess what my sister used to do? Oh, this just hurt my soul to say this. She faked suicides. Ain't that terrible? To get money out of my mama. But that ain't what really angered me. What angered me is she's so good at what she do that the last time she did it, the bitch fooled me. Let me tell you what happened. My mama called me crying hysterically. Baby, you need to get over here. We got to go save your sister. Lord be to Jesus. Lord help me. Get over here now, son. We got to go save her. I think she really killed herself this time. As soon as I hung up the phone, I got to be honest with y'all. For the first time, I hung up the phone and I thought I heard God's voice. And he simply said, she did. And my heart almost jumped out my chest because that's the first time I realized I don't want to lose my sister. How much I love my sister. So immediately I fall into prayer. And I'm driving and I'm praying and filled with the Spirit. Lord, save my sister, don't let it be true. And I get to the house to pick my mom up. And you know my mom was so amazing. Not only was it raining, but my mom was waiting outside in the rain with her. Not only was she waiting, she had a nice glass of holy water in his hand. She had an old ass Bible in his hand. And she had her choir robe over her raincoat. She jumped in the car. She started hitting me with scriptures, hit me with two come together more. I'm driving, she praying, we holding hands, we praying. We get to my sister's house. Now listen to me, small crowd. We jump out the car. We look through the window. Y'all need to know what amazing of an actress my sister is. Look through the window. My sister got her whole torso stuck in the oven, playing dead. Now at that point, my poor mama looked through the window first and passed out in prayer. Jesus, no Lord. Now I didn't know what she seen, so I looked in the window. Now let me tell you something. She had me fooled so cold that I started praying. Oh Lord, don't do a real nigga like this. Don't do a real nigga like this. So my mama said, do something, do something. So I kicked in the door. Now as I kicked in the door, I remembered something. I said, sis, get your ass up. Your gas been cut off for 2 weeks. Stupid. Let me tell y'all something. See, I gotta be honest with you. It comes a time, you know, it's an old saying that say, you know, my dad, I love to brag on my dad because he was, you know, I think the only thing hurt me, my dad passed away, right? But the only thing that hurt me about my dad's death was, you know, he died and he never said I love you. Well, he said it one time, but it was a package deal. He said, I love all y'all. But I gotta be honest. On his deathbed, he gave me an amazing compliment. And as a comedian, Memphis Will could testify to this. As a comedian, there is no greater compliment than to have your name mentioned in the same sentence as a Richard Pryor. And on my dad's deathbed, he pulled me close to him and he said, son, I just want you to know. He said, since you was a little boy, you had this little gift to just make people laugh. Before you can open your mouth, you was funny. And he said, I done lived my long life and I have seen the best of the best. And he said, son, I can rest in peace and I can say from the bottom of my heart, you will never be as funny. But he did say this. Okay, y'all get with him. You know, but I want y'all to know, as from the bottom of my heart, I gotta tell y'all this though. He told me to protect the honor and character of my sisters. So whatever you do, and from that point on, I defended the honor, not just my sister, but all women. You know what I mean? My first show I'm doing the Comedy Central special, and it's called "It's the Uplifting of Women." And it's a comedy show based around lifting women. And it's called a one night stand with Scruncho. Right? Okay. All the ladies just coming to uplift y'all. Because I'm gonna tell you something, right? My sister, right? I don't believe in, like, as a man, I don't believe that men should have best friends. I'm like, fuck a best friend. Bible says don't trust no man, you know what I mean? So I put my trust, if I had a wife, it'd be in my wife, and I put my trust in God, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you something, I had a best friend, and I'm going to tell you, it's a side y'all don't know. If my ex-best friend walked through that door right now, and humbly as you may think I am, I would jump off this stage, I would beat his ass, and to death do us part. Because I can't fuck with no man that would allow his best friend, me, to get knocked out twice by the same goddamn man. Let me tell you the story, so this statement, it makes sense. My beautiful sister was in a domestic violence relationship. As I got older, I realized that my brother-in-law was beating the fuck out of my beautiful sister. So I manned up on his ass, pulled him aside, looked him in the eye, and told him what I was feeling from the bottom of my heart. I said, check this out, Dre. You laying hands on my beautiful sister and she continued to go back to you? I said, nigga, that got me discombobulated, right? My daughter taught me that word. I said, but hear me this. You will respect her in my presence, understand me? Now, fellas, y'all know like I know. Ain't nothing more disrespectful than when you telling a grown-ass man what you feeling in your heart and soul, and in the middle of your heartfelt conversation, that other grown-ass man gonna look at you and you. That's what I said. I said to this bitch, nigga, just me. Now, sometimes, ladies, you gotta give a man exactly what he been dishing out in order for him to have true understanding of what the hell he been doing to you. But here's the thing. Whenever a man go to discipline another grown-ass man, the fight is no longer physical, the fight is spiritual. Because my mother told me, she said, whenever you defend the honor and character of your sister, God will put a covenant over you, and he will put a spiritual blessing over you, and the heavens will protect you, and angels will come down, and they will give you a spiritual anointing that is so strong that you cannot and will not lose, and that's biblical principles. And at that point, small crowd, I knew it was going to come a time when I must give Dre this biblical spiritual ass his body so desperately desired. So 2 weeks later, ladies and gentlemen, so I humble my spirit. I knew it was going to come a day and time I must give Dre this biblical ass. And 2 weeks later, the shit happened. That same sister was having a taco party. And just for the record, real niggas eat more tacos than Mexicans. And just for the record, ladies, I was in the Middle East, 6 of them. And just for the record, ladies, if y'all don't remember nothing about my whole show, remember this. Don't y'all trust no man that eat less than 3 tacos. Fuck you nibbling for, nigga. Now I'm sitting in the living room eating my 6 juicy tacos. Now what I seen in the kitchen, I swear to God, ladies, it breaks my heart to this day. I see my beautiful sister who raised me, taught me how to tie my shoes, gave me lunch money, protected me from the schoolyard bully. I see my strong, beautiful sister woman. She's standing in the kitchen corner on the floor as my brother-in-law stands over my sister, stomping my beautiful sister in the chest as if she didn't come from the womb of my beautiful mother, socking my beautiful sister in the eye as if she didn't have brothers to defend her honor. Immediately, small crowd, I disconnected from my physical world. I went into the spiritual world that was so anointed. It was just like my mother said. The heavens opened up. And I see my mother's face appear with a halo over her head, and it was angels around her, just like she said. And I heard that biblical music go, oh! And my mother simply, with the angels on her side, she simply, she said, it's time. And at that point, small crowd, I did not run over there to protect my beautiful sister. I did not walk aggressively over there to protect my beautiful sister. Small crowd, I floated over there. I floated, and I rose up over that motherfucking Dre. Now, I was the big man. He was the little man. And ladies, I was going to defend every woman that ever had her hands laid on her by a man. But my mother, my sister, Tina Turner, what's that name? Rihanna! And I rose up over her with all the strength I had in my body. I was going to defend every woman that had her hands laid on her. And the spirit flew up in me. And my hands began to swell up to the size of Floyd Mayweather. And with all the spirit I combusted in me, with all the power I had in me, right That nigga Dre hit me so many times, I thought I was getting jumped. That's when I realized this motherfucking Dre is gifted from the show. Small crowd, this nigga head speed was incredible. Boy, that nigga punches was so cold, it whistled past my ear, looped around and hit me in the back of my motherfucking head. I swear to God, I thought I was going to jump in. I'm like, y'all gonna gang jump with me? Now, that's when I realized something. I gotta kill this nigga Dre. Let me tell you why I had to kill him. Not because he swallowed my eye up to the size of a brain tumor. Not because he stuck my hip completely out of socket. But because I got kids. My brother, you know what I mean when I say I got kids? That means I can't be walking through the mall with me and my motherfucking kids. Me and my kids see this nigga Dre. Dre see me. I see Dre. Fear hopping me. My kids sense the fear. I go to do something with my kids 2 weeks later. They looking at me talking about you were acting like that when Dre was walking through the mall. So I just I get up and I tell myself, I said, Tony, we gotta kill this nigga Dre tonight. I said, big sis, are you with me? She said, no, I'm not with you, Scruncho. I love Andre. I love Andre. I said, bitch, look at us. We got one good eye between the two of us, bitch. Let me explain something to you 12 niggas who ain't never been socked in your motherfucking eye. Nigga, the eye is the only part of the human anatomy that is so sensitive that it literally got its own set of rules. Here's the rules. If a nigga sock you right here above the eye on this gristle, it piss you off because you realize, okay, this motherfucker trying to sock a real nigga in this goddamn eye. But somebody sock you right here below the eye on this soft tissue, whatever you do it quick because it's finna bubble. But with a man up with another man, and catching up there for the shoulder, be like, 5 minutes with a brother, let me ask you a question, brother. Have you ever got socked so hard in the eye, you just started negotiating? Nigga, I did. I was like, wait one motherfucking minute, Dre. Now, what the fuck is all this shit about? Now, at this point, I realized something. I gotta kill this nigga Dre. Let me tell you why I had to kill him. I knew, so I had to. Not because he swore my eye to side brain tumor. So I go to the best friend. I go to the hood to get my best friend. And I asked my best friend, I said, Dulo, with my one good eye. And you know the rules when you go to the hood to get your best friends. Number one rule, it ain't no rules. We get to the point location. I got the 9mm, he got the 12 gauge shotgun. Right before I knocked at the door, I stared at the nigga in my eye. Right now, I'm on some demonic shit. Because to be honest, that spiritual shit got me completely fucked up. At this point, me and the devil dancing. So I looked at that nigga, my one little demonic eye, and I asked that nigga, I said, Dulo, niggas, you ready to die? This nigga Dulo, my best friend, had me fooled. He started crip walking, talking about, I don't give a fuck. Let's do this. I said, whoa. So I began to knock at the door. So my mama come to the door. She's like, what's happening? I said, you already know what's happening. And my sister come to the door. She's like, what's happening? I said, you already know what's happening. She said, wooty wooty woo. I said, wooty wooty woo. She said, wooty wooty woo. I swear to God, when I came up in there with the 9mm, I was gonna shoot everything that looked like that motherfucker Dre. I was gonna shoot shadows, images, pictures, thoughts, dreams. I didn't give a fuck. Wedding pictures. Look, I got a little nephew named Lil Dre who looked just like Big Dre, but Lil Dre is as bad as a motherfucker. I would have shot him twice. I take 4-5 steps in the house, out of nowhere, my fat ass sister jump her ass on my back, wrap her thigh around my waist, and try to weigh a real nigga down. Now, due to the obesity of her weight, a real nigga was going down. But my trigger hand was free. Who do I see? I see the motherfucking Dre. My sister see, I see hit a bitch grab my arm. Now, we be getting struck for the goddamn gun. Now, this punk ass nigga Dre do something a real nigga like myself think was kind of clever. The nigga come from the blind side of my bad eye. So it looked like he just popped up on a real nigga like, yeah! He tried to scare a real nigga. He did. So I was like, oh shit! Now at that point, the gun dislodges from my hand. Dre picks up the handle of the gun. Begins to whoop my ass for the second time. Now, as Dre is whooping my ass at a rhythm pace, I couldn't help but to think, where is my best friend? Now, as I get my ass whooped thoroughly in a fetal position, protecting my blanket eye, I looked toward the entrance that I entered. To the left of the entrance there was a window. On the outside of the window, there was my best friend, boy Duno punches was phenomenal. His punches make my heart skip a beat. I was 4 punches from death. Blood was coming out my pores. I had no choice. I had to give my best friend encouragement. So I yelled back, I said, but Duno, you got a gun, best friend. And he yelled back, but you had one too. Now, at this point, I'm 2 punches from death. His punches are so phenomenal that one, he hit me in the inside of the ear and knocked out both of my eardrums. So at this point, small crowd, I had no choice. I had to yell back in Braille.
How you do that?
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all off the hook. Let y'all off the hook. Man, but you know I'm glad everybody graduated, man. Made it here. You know, the whole Ferguson thing, man. And you know it's so crazy. Like, you know, let's get real for a minute. We talk about the little how the shit is like social media. It's a gift and it's a curse. But it's a beautiful thing too because it exposes darkness and it really made us come together as culturally and spiritually. Like we really united where people, do you know like people under 25 have no clue of what racism really is within their heart? That's why they all coming together and join us. And then social media it exposes evil and people are demanding right over wrong. And that comes through social media because the laws are prejudice. You know what I mean? But it's a certain generation, it's not. See, we get to the era we are and we all got that, we understand. But that younger generation, like my daughter, they don't understand none of this shit. You know what I mean? So now, when you, like I talk about it all the time, like the shit that these people doing, this law enforcement, y'all don't know this, but they have killed and responsible for more deaths than slavery. Because they hide behind the law to break the law that make them the devil. Because they hide behind them penal codes. And everybody right now, it's this thing called character assassination. See, but it's being exposed because they've been breaking the character assassination of niggas like me, niggas in the hood since I started at 7, where they started putting me in handcuffs, give me a penal code, they give me a ticket, give me a ticket, give me a ticket. You know, then before you know it, after 4 years, people, the laws and people look at your record and be like, you the problem. But they started to break your character down a long time and they break you and make you bitter and angry and then they wonder why we all fucked up psychologically and then they come back to our community and we all fucked up. So now they being exposed and we should appreciate the exposure that they're getting because they've been destroying our community from the inside out because their whole goal is, they call us, niggas is called targets. You know, we've been targeting through law enforcement. And through that target, what they do is now they got us probation. Now they got us probation. Now they got us in prison, cemeteries, murders. You know what I mean? And then once we get like that, they killing off our generation. So they breaking us from the inside out. And they made slavery legal. And the reason America is surviving because niggas in prison making fucking incredible shit for less than 10 cents an hour. You know what I mean? And everybody investing in prisons. So you gotta understand the bigger picture. So, and even with the Christians, you know, I always tell people like, I'm going through a lot of spiritual battle right now, you know, because I used to think like being a Christian, I bought into it. I was a Christian. I believe through, here go where I get confused. I believe through the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you can get to heaven. I believe that Jesus died for our sins. I believe that He's our Savior. Agree? Right? Here go where I get confused. Then they say, in order for me to get to heaven, do you believe that's the way and the only way? I'll be lying. Because I don't know nothing else but Christians. You know what I mean? So how, because I don't believe what I don't understand, I can't go to heaven? You know what I mean? I don't want to believe that because I want to believe that God is so amazing and is so big that He got different ways and different. I think all religions are trying to corner the market on God. You know what I mean? And I believe that that's not the only way you can go to heaven, and it might be, but I don't know because I ain't been in enough other religions to know about their religions. But I don't want to say I'm a Christian, y'all can't go. That's terrible to think. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe that God is so amazing because I traveled the world, and you don't know God if you only been local. You don't have a clue on how big God really is. God is so amazing. And it's hard to believe that He's so amazing, so big, that people who never got a chance to know Christ can't go to heaven. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for me to believe. But I do believe that different religions, there's different navigation systems to get to heaven. I believe that God is love and love is God. And I believe if you got love in your heart, how could He resist you? You know what I'm saying? And if you got hate in your heart, doesn't really matter what religion you is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So love override hate. The confusion comes when you enter sex. You know what I mean? Because I don't think God have nothing to do with sex. I think God is agape. His love is unconditional. You know what I mean? When you put sex in it, it's confusing. That's why they trick you in the Bible. They'll tell you, you know, Adam and Eve, once you went to the garden and they ate the apple. But think about it. Use your fucking common sense. The apple must have meant a vagina, because why would He punish the pussy? It only makes sense. And the snake. But I'm just saying, use common sense. Now, because guess what? I'm gonna tell you why God is so amazing. What do Adam, Eve, and Jesus all got in common? They was all created without nothing to do with sex. God created them from the rib, and without sex. But the minute you put sex in it, the devil been getting his hustle on ever since. Once you delete that and you put your focus on God, and guess what else I believe? I don't believe Mary was a hoe. I believe she was a prophet, because Mary was there during the resurrection, Mary was there during the burial, and Mary was there during the whole walk. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe her and Jesus' relationship was sexual, because Jesus wasn't created sexually. It was agape. It was a love that was so pure. Think about it. All relationships are amazing until you include sex. That's why God say when He join y'all together, y'all become as one, and He don't look at y'all like, He look at y'all as one. So He don't look at y'all as a sexual being. That's how come. You ever notice how in Genesis after they ate the apple allegedly, right? They start covering up with fig leaves and shit. You know what I mean? With fig leaves and shit. They're hungry, They start covering up with fig leaves, right? But think about it. How many times have ladies, you know what I'm saying, you got drunk, you got loaded, and then you wake up with the wrong nigga. You know, you start covering up as if you ain't been naked all night. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to think about and use common sense, but never put love over nothing. No, love is everything, and everything is being manipulated through fear. Let me tell you, everything, fraternities, sororities, everything starts with fear. They try to sell fear, but here's the thing about fear: when you put fear over love, and the Bible say, a lot of preachers tell you, fear at the beginning of loving the Lord is to fear the Lord. But when you look at fear in the Greek, it doesn't mean fear. You know what I mean? It's a different terminology for fear. But those who don't have spiritual understanding, fear means fucking fear. You know what I mean? And when you put fear over loving the Lord, when you say the fear of the Lord is to love the Lord, now you're telling me that my Lord is Ike Turner type of nigga. Because now I'm scared to ask you of the things that I don't understand out of fear. You know what I mean? But when you put fear over love, guess what? You start hating love. The thing you're supposed to love is what you hate the most. You know what I mean? That's how you gotta put love. It's like, if my grandmother, I love her so much. Don't this make more sense? I love my grandmother so much that the fear of me hurting her, you know what I'm saying, make me do something right. But then my dad made me fear him so much that the minute that fear became hate, I stumped on him when it came to didn't love him no more. So be careful how you trick your mind. Build your mind, but just practice love and giving and practice love. Don't get caught up in, because once you get in that religion and you start judging and you start becoming more into religion than into love. But God is love. So preach love and give love, and don't worry about what you don't understand. If you don't understand, just pray for it. You know what I mean? And as a Christian, just stay in there. And if you're a Christian, don't buy into the title of being a Christian. Buy into the action of being a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Because like if we Christians, the Christians right now, that's what they remind me of as a Christian. It's kind of like we all joined the, Jerry Buss hired us to be Lakers. We all got the fresh uniforms, we got the new shoes, we got the record deals, we got the we got the new cars, but we ain't made one basket for the team. God didn't hire us to be Lakers, He hired us to win championships.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of good night, ladies.
Give me up the sponsor, man. Thanks for going out, y'all. We're open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 7 o'clock to 12. Show starts at 8:30.